Good evening, folks. That is Bob Curley right there. And each one of those pictures is certainly significant in each one of the things he did. He loved kids, he loved Siena College, and everything else that he did is portrayed in those photos. To the Curley family, I know many of you are here this evening. To Linda, and I'm going to mention them all because sometimes they say, and the 12 grandchildren. Well, 12 grandchildren, get ready because I'm going to say your name right now. Linda, Todd and Stacy, Ashley, Carrie Lynn, and Robert, Tracy and Scott, grandchildren, Dalton, Braden, Connor, Gavin, Taylor, Logan, Eva, Ainsley, Gabriella, Skylar, Molly, and Christopher. Did I miss anybody, Todd? I pray to God no. It's an honor to be here. I'm sure Bob, as Rennie just said, is very happy tonight, but I'm sure he's probably looking down on us all right now and saying something like, what are you doing? Knock it off. I hate this kind of stuff. Because with Bob, it was never about him. It was always, always about his family and others. It was never I, it was always we. He was one of the most self-effacing people you would ever want to meet. Before I was first introduced to Bob, people would say to me, you have to meet Bob Curley. You have to meet Bob Curley. But once I met Bob Curley, I knew why. As powerful and as successful as he would make you feel like you've known him for years. He was the kind of person that by his mere presence and personality would take over a room, a meeting, a board meeting possibly with the bank, or whatever the situation was. Besides the multitude of interactions I had with him through the years at the arena, and most recently with Berkshire Bank, of course, I served on the Siena College Board of Trustees with Bob for roughly 15 years, and his seat was right next to mine. And in that time, as you could imagine, we had many side conversations. One comment he made to me always stuck. He said to me one time, Gary, most people can learn the banking stuff, but what's most important is how you take care of and treat people. Pretty powerful words, because he wasn't your stereotypical banker. It was true, Bob held a huge position with KeyBank and with several other banks through the years, Citizens Bank and, as I said, most recently, Berkshire Bank. But he could just as easily discuss the proper way to turn a double play or to execute a jump shot or help a basketball referee correct a call. Although there'll never be another Bob Curley, the best way to continue his legacy is to carry out the lessons about life that he taught us. I certainly know I will. And now to take us the rest of the way, my boss, Bob Belber.
Thanks, Gary. I'm just going to say a few things about Bob. First of all, there's not a business person that I've worked with in the 29 years I've been at the MVP Arena that I care more about than Bob. Bob was a good personal friend, such inspiration. And he would come in and he would talk to every person in the arena. Didn't matter if you were a cleaning crew or if you were an operations director. He would treat everybody the same, and he was just a good-spirited person. I want to share something with you. It wasn't just basketball that he loved. He loved the NCAA championship events, and the MVP Arena has been blessed to have many, many NCAA championship events. I actually got to know him at the 1995 first and second rounds of men's basketball, and some of you may remember Old Dominion beating Villanova in quadruple overtime. That was one of the best events I've ever seen in my life. But I got to meet Bob. Bob was a co-founder of the Capital Region Sports Foundation, and he was also a founder of the Coaches versus Cancer in the Capital Region. And just everything he did and everybody he came across felt as though they had just met the nicest person in the world. So I can't say enough about it. But I do remember at one point going to him when he was at KeyBank in the mid-90s and end of the 90s. And I said, I know you like basketball, but we want to put a bid in to host the Frozen Four National Hockey Championship, Division I. And I'd like you to guarantee a sellout. And he said, I don't know much about hockey. I like basketball. So at the end of the day, I shared all the attendance numbers for the Frozen Four championships in the last 10 years before that. And I said you wouldn't have to spend more than 95,000 tops. So not only did he do it, not only did he guarantee the sellout, but he flew with our bid team to actually do a presentation, and he stood up in front of the NCAA and he actually said, KeyBank and I are going to guarantee a sellout in Albany, New York for the Frozen Four. And guess what? We got it. 2001, we hosted it. It sold out. He didn't spend a dime for a ticket. But that's the kind of man Bob Curley was. I also asked him in 1996 if he could help me with an introduction to the folks in KeyBank in Seattle and to the Key Arena management in Seattle, which our company did not manage at the time, because I wanted to get all the info on the naming rights information so I could go back to Albany County and help write the RFP so we could do a naming rights opportunity. There were only 12 naming rights deals in 1996 in the whole country. It's pretty hard to believe, right? Because every building has a name on it today. Well, he was so gracious. He set up the introduction. I flew to Seattle. I met with both KeyBank and the management of the arena, picked up all the benefits, came back, went over them with Bob, and then we went in to write the RFP, and KeyBank did bid on it, Pepsi bid on it, and others did. Pepsi had the best bid, and Pepsi ended up getting the naming rights. But he was such a gracious person. It wasn't about whether KeyBank got the name. It was about him helping the Capital Region. And there's so many others in the Capital Region that would say the same thing, that he was a man that they'll always remember as being that great person that helped everybody. That smile was infectious. And to the family, I just want to say congratulations. He deserves this, and we wish you all the best.